Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Onassis Porto, the manager for More Mana Gaming, and right now I'm here with Vinnie Silverman, who got first place at Orlando, and we're about to show you his deck list, so I'll let him get moving.
Yep, so this is the deck list for the Liam Kite deck that I played at the ARGENT SAGA Championship Orlando. It was pretty standard, and my teammate Phil Pena also got top 16 with it. So we did a video for his deck list, so I'm not going to go through each card individually, but this is the whole deck here, and there's a couple things that I wanted to mention that were different from my deck and from our deck than other Liam Kite decks, I guess. One thing that was different was the Raging Shard Beast that we played 3 of. The reason for this was we felt like the deck was very creature light, and the idea of our deck was to play a couple creatures that we wanted to stick and then have those deal the finishing blows. The problem with that is you can't play around everything, and if you do leave a window for your opponent to interact with your creatures, then you can get stuck in positions where you're left with a bunch of gears in your hand or a bunch of green spells that you can't really do much with. So to mitigate that, we upped our creature count with the 3 Shard Beasts, and we felt like this would be sort of our hedge to have a higher creature count and get out of those situations where we couldn't really play anything. Another notable thing about our deck was the use of 2 Finishing Rays and Longinus, as well as the 2 Shard Sword Novas. And these were all sort of tech cards that we had for the mirror match. The Finishing Rays in particular, so the mirror match, you're going very wide onto the board with Repper Bloom, and sometimes your creatures are expendable. For example, if you can kite back your own Repper Bloom, or if you just have like a Corn Squire or something that's going to get an effect when it dies, then you don't really care if your own creatures die, and it's more important for you to maybe break a bunch of towers and then reset the game to equal position with Finishing Ray. So the idea was by playing 2 of it, we can search it with Vabriel's Gift more than once in a game, and we cited the 3rd copy for the same reason. We want to do it even another time against the mirror sometimes. And then the idea of like the Longinus and the Shard Sword Nova was sort of, these are cards that are very strong in the mirror match, but also have utility in other matchups, and they're just very efficient cards in general, so we wanted to maximize the amount of strong cards that we had in the mirror match because we felt like that was going to be the most popular deck. Speaking more on how we felt about the format going in, we felt like the meta was sort of a triangle, with Liam decks being very strong against Ergon decks, and Ergon decks being very strong against the base blue decks, so Jillian and Jamail, and then those blue decks being very strong against Liam decks. The reason why we picked Liam in the first place was because, for 2 reasons. One, we figured out of all 3 of those matchups, the Liam matchup against Jillian was the least one-sided. It was the closest to a 50-50, and it was the matchup where we felt like we could squeak games out if we had to play a bad matchup. The other thing was we felt like blue decks were less on the radar. Obviously, Mayu and Juggernaut are super powerful creatures, but Repper Bloom is sort of the boogeyman of the format, so everyone was looking out for Liam Kite, and Ergon was very powerful before it got banned, and then got unbanned, being very strong. So we realized that the blue decks might be sort of underplayed, and our concession to the blue decks was in the sideboard, where we played, we switched to the Luna Spirit, and we sided in 2 Returning Shadows, 3 Golem of Vengeance, and 3 Demon of the Evil Eye. And this came from an idea that we had right before the tournament, where we thought about, well, how does the Ergon deck actually beat the base blue decks? And one way that it does this is by playing these expensive, dark haymakers like Demon and Vengeance over and over and over again. You rip apart the hand so that, for example, Jillian can't draw as many cards. Jamail, you have fewer options to discard with his effect. And also, by you knowing their hand, you can play around all of their tricks. And since the blue deck can't really destroy creatures very efficiently, they get all their creature destruction from their secondary color. If the blue deck has like a bunch of Mizus or Ancient Serpent's Breath or Tidal Rushes, they'll stop them from dying, it'll stop an attack or 2. But then I just play the creature again, and I get to discard another card. And eventually, you can't keep bouncing, and you can't keep taking, -1s whenever I play my creature. So our idea was, all right, even if game 1's not very strong, probably concede pretty early, and then games 2 and 3, that's when we bring in these dark cards, and then hopefully that'll give us a really strong matchup against the blue decks. And the one blue deck that I did play against, which was in top 4, I did exactly that. I got pretty lucky the first game, and I squeaked out a win, and then the second game I was in pretty heavy control the entire time because of those dark cards. So other than that, the rest of our deck was pretty standard. For my personal tournament experience, I had a record of 5 wins and 2 draws after Swiss, putting me in 3rd place after those standings. And then I played Argonne Fizzy in top 8, I played the Jillian Sola in top 4, and I played Liam Kite in the final. So I got to beat all 3 sort of pieces of the triangle with this deck. And other than that, it was a lot of fun tournament. I think despite all the talk about Repper Bloom being too powerful and changes needed to be made, I think it was still a lot of fun. I really enjoyed being in Florida with my friends. Got to meet a lot of new people, and I'd like to thank More Mana Gaming, my sponsors, for being awesome, and my teammates Phil and Nori for being incredible teammates, and to ARG for being a great tournament host and hosting this awesome game that we all play. So thank you for watching. If you haven't seen Phil's video, you should check that out because we go through each card more in depth, and we'll see you all to the next video.